Hey everybody, my name's Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. The Godkiller. Alright. It's a puzzle-solving adventure game in 3 dimensions, and it really does use all 3 of those dimensions. You're looking around through this detailed, intricate space for the solutions to puzzles, and where things are placed matters. And also there's an effort to make it all very clear so that you can take in all kinds of information and know what to do with it. You're going to be a little tiny person on the screen with all kinds of architecture around you. There's going to be vast spaces beneath you to drop into, maybe. All kinds of creatures moving around, some chasing you, some running away from you. So yeah, that's the game. I'm going to demo it to you. I'm going to demo recent progress. That's what I do at the start of the stream. After I get done demoing recent progress, I just move on to working on the game. That's what I'm going to do. So, recent progress. There's this task I have in front of me of adding a hell of a lot of dialogue to the game. Just hours of dialogue to the game. And I want the dialogue to be accompanied with facial animation so that when characters are talking, their faces will pop up above the character that you're actually controlling and show emotion and human-like animation so that you kind of see them as like little cartoon people that are moving the story along. But at the same time, there's compromises that are made between showing these faces and letting you play the game. So if you happen to walk over some area where the face would obscure what you're trying to deal with, the face just fades out a bit. Okay, I also hate cutscenes. Hey DZ, I think almost every game could do without cutscenes. I also hate when you have to like go up to a character and basically exit the game and go into what amounts to a mini game where all of your interaction with the character is there inside of dialogue trees and things like that. And then when you're done talking to the other character, then you go back to playing the game. No. So this dialogue is designed to be going while you're playing. The faces, they are meant to be shown without getting in the way, but still give some flavor to the game and make it feel like you're in a story. So right now I've got the same face art for 2 different characters. What it will end up being is this will be the face art for the main character here, and a little bit later I'll add in a different bit of face art for Billy and other characters. But right now I've only got one face to use to test this out. Billy, by the way, let me see if I can go here without going to all my, there's all my tax information. You don't need to see that. Okay, Billy, I've made concept art for what he will look like. I sent that off to the 3D character modeler. Billy Ping. Alright, so here's what Billy's supposed to look like. Just some rough concept art sketch stuff. He's a petty little man. He's afraid. He's also mean. And he's got a lot of pride, but not a lot of capabilities to justify the pride. And he feels like he's being left out of all the rewards that should be going to him. So he's got a chip on his shoulder. And he's paired up with M. He's supposed to show M the ropes. He's supposed to teach M things so that she can learn how to survive in this new world and contribute to it. And M immediately is more capable of doing things in this world than he is, which furthers the grudge that he has against her. So there's going to be a conflict between Billy, this guy, and M. And yeah. So I sent this off to Isak. And Isak is working on the 3D model for Billy. And I'll go ahead and do the face art for Billy, which is like the 2D thing that is shown up above the character. Yesterday, I wrote some code that would set the direction that the eyes point based on who's talking. And also it'll set the eye direction of whoever is talking, if it hasn't already been set by the controlling script. So by default, the algorithm is going to look for whichever character is closest to the speaker, and then the face above will look at that person. And by default, all the other characters in the room will look at whoever happens to be speaking at any moment in time. So today I'm going to finish up the face animation engine code. I'll take it to 100%. It'll be in a releasable state as far as I know. There'll probably be a few bugs to fix in it along the way, but I will finish it up today, at least the engine part. There'll be a ton of content to put in, but the engine part of it, the base functionality for face animation, should be done today. The thing that I've got remaining is pretty small. I want these irises to not solely lock on the target of the speaker, but have a little bit of give so that they might just randomly look at other things. Then there's also moments in time where the character is not speaking, nobody else is speaking, so they don't need to be looking at any particular thing, but I would also like for the eyes to kind of move around a little bit, so there's some variety to where they're looking. So that's what I'm doing today. I think I should be able to nail it in this session. I got stuck a little bit yesterday on some trigonometry stuff around the eyes, and it took a couple hours. This morning I wasn't able to start as quickly as I wanted because I had to file my goddamn taxes, or at least give information to my accountant so she will file the taxes. I hate that. I hate it. It makes me anxious, makes me angry, afraid, and bored all simultaneously doing my taxes. It's hard to be bored and afraid and angry at the same time, but this particular activity does it to me every year. But the worst of it's over. I did get all my papers together and sent them off to the accountant. And I feel better as a result. All right. On to work. Getting work done. Oh, something tells me it must be easier in Germany. I feel like Germany with its, you've got like that more centralized approach to government there. The U.S., they've got, their city, state, federal, and my understanding, at least from reading like an economist article at some point in time, is Germany is a little more efficiently organized. But I don't know. Like, maybe there's like an app on your phone and you press the button and your taxes are just filed, or maybe they don't even bother you to file them. They just say everybody who's an employer has to file them for you. I don't know. It feels like if there was some better way to do it, Germany would have figured it out. Americans almost pride themselves on having bad government. Yeah. For me, I have my accountant who kind of holds my hand a little bit, but it's like every year. I don't mind. She's like half psychologist or therapist for me, because she just kind of makes me feel better about getting all the numbers together. It's a weakness of mine. I'm just really disturbed by the whole process more than the average person. Now the vampires in the U.S. I think are TurboTax. I mean, they've literally lobbied the government to make filing taxes more complex, so that people need to have their software in order to file it themselves. Now those are some first-rate vampires. TurboTax. I would rather pay $90 to a CPA every year than pay 1 cent to TurboTax in my life. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, I gotta close some tabs and they'll have my financial information on them. So let me switch back to head mode, big stupid head mode, and then hide this sensitive information. Let me double check. I got anything else sensitive up anyplace else? No, I do not. I should have done that before I came on. Okay. So let me look at Face Player. So I've got this look at, which takes screen chords. Oh man, that much per month. But like, did you have like a business? Like, was the person doing like payroll type stuff? I have looked at like some companies that just do like all the accounting for you as a business, like if you're a business, and they were in that price range. Yeah, I think even for me a little bit more than that. And I was like, just want somebody to do it all for me, and then it starts getting expensive fast when you have that kind of attitude. I was looking for some kind of sweet spot, sort of like somebody that spends maybe 1 hour a month thinking about your accounting and filing needs. Even 2 hours a month maybe, and just gets all the stuff organized for you. Says, okay, sign here, sign there, ask a few questions of you to make sure it's done the right way. That wouldn't be a bad deal for me, particularly when I get to the point where I'm releasing this game. I end up having to pay taxes to 3 levels of government in the U.S., potentially 4: city, county, state, fed. And I just get killed by not remembering all the little things that I have to do with that. Done it before. It's just the worst kind of task. Yeah, exactly. You learn it, but it's so boring, it never stays in your head. This is what I mean by combining, like, being boring, angry, and afraid together. It's just like this blanket of grayness coming over the top of you. And it's just, oh, I hate it. It's just so fucking boring. And yet necessary, like urgently necessary. If you don't do it, if you don't do all the things that are asked of you by the various governments, you will get in trouble. You might go to jail. You might have a lien put on your account. I have had a lien on my account before. It wasn't a fun thing. It was me being an escapist about all the things I needed to do around filing my taxes. So, yeah. It's friggin' nausea-inducing. Alright. This might be the function I end up calling to do this sort of random looking at thing. Yeah, exactly. Let's do that. I was getting too worked up about it. I was going to go full libertarian in a moment. Okay, so we want to look at things. Let me just copy this over. I think this is a key function for my consideration over to this other scratch area over here. This, I can probably, do I want to get rid of this? I think I can get rid of it. Okay. If face is not staring at anything, it should keep staring. It should, okay, it should have its focus set randomly, set to random point at random intervals. I think that's more like, let's see, let's do staring to not staring. Set focus XY to either straight ahead, maybe 75% of the time, or a random point. Let's see what else. Staring. At a random interval. Set focus X, Y to either the attention transform 75% or a random point. That might be overly specific. This actually, it sounds like I'm writing out the solution. Maybe I don't quite want to do that yet. Let's see. So if we're staring, let's say mostly look straight ahead, but sometimes at a random point. And then we'll say mostly look at attention target, but sometimes at a random point. Okay. Let's see, so we'll say in face controller, maybe I want to do something similar to what I do with the blink controller. I could do attention controller, let me look at the pattern I already used. Down here we've got call the blink controller on the explicit update, and it returns back what do I want it to return back. Copy this over. Okay. In face controller, let's say an explicit update. Attention controller. We could have it be responsible for returning not a transform, but screen chords. Let's say get screen get focus point. We'll pass in transform attention target and also we'll say out int screen X, out int screen Y. And that I kind of like, particularly because this, if I want to do anything kind of tricky or clever inside of here, it's not going to affect the rest of this that much. I like things where I can define an interface and I don't have to think about everything that's happening in every class all at one time. So that's what I did with the blink controller. The blink controller just allowed me to just not have to think about it all at the same time. So that's good encapsulation. So face player, it's going to need to get something besides transforms. Protected int focus screen X, focus screen Y. Okay. Update. Let's see what I've got there already. Update iris offsets. Put the target. What's saying the target? Oh, this guy here. Okay, so I think I should not use the word focus because I've already used attention all over the place. Well, attention is the same thing as focus. Maybe I should rename attention to focus all over the place. Nah, I think attention is actually more meaningful than focus. If I see it in a file name, I'll be more likely to think of it as something that a character has, as opposed to maybe a UI focus. So I'll leave it as attention, but I will be consistent. I'll call it attention. Attention screen X, attention screen Y. Okay. That's not bad. So attention controller, I can say float. Next, change. Next. I'll leave that for now. Okay. Get. This is not going to be focus. It's going to be get. Get point. This guy, let's say if attention target is set. No. Let's see. How's this work? Okay. Let's see, these could be refs. That way I won't have to keep a separate state to return back the points if it hasn't changed. Okay. If it's time for a change. seems pretty good. Okay. I think that's a pretty good way to do it. Also, I feel like I can get this all working and have get point be a stub and just see how well that works to begin with and kind of debug everything else, and then I can add in all the logic for the attention controller. Should not be hard. Alright, I'm going to go use the restroom. When I get back, it'll be time. It'll be time to code it up. Back to work, back to work, back to work, work. Alright, so I'll make my attention controller class. I won't do everything in it all at once. But I would like to make it so it will return a point in the middle of the screen. And I don't want to continuously recalculate that. On the other hand, the screen could get resized. All right, so let's just I should just have them always looking straight ahead, which is okay to start. So I've got that. And I come back to face controller. Where's blink controller? There it is. It's down there. Okay. Read only. Attention controller. What else did I say to do? Oh, explicit update. Is that the one? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Let's see. So this is attention controller, get point, attention target, and then we say ref attention screen X, ref attention screen Y. Okay, that's probably everything for face controller. You're complaining? No, because I got a use for it. Okay. So let's go to face player. Alright, let's check for a trivial exit. Computers are so fast that, like, a lot of these things I do, I can't actually see any benefit to doing them. It is optimizing prematurely. But I see all this stuff underneath, and I just imagine it happening like every frame, and it freaks me out. But the truth of it is, it probably isn't doing all that much work. I guess I've got some sort of fear like it'll creep up on me if I don't have like a certain threshold of good habits. That up top. Oh God, that's terrible, man. It's terrible. Almost blocked you just for that. It was so bad. You should be ashamed. Oops, this is in the wrong spot. Wonder if I should move this out of here. It really is pretty coupled though. I'll leave it private. Private class. Yeah, it's quite coupled. All right. Okay, so that might be enough to just test what I've gotten so far. Okay, she is looking straight ahead, and Billy's looking straight ahead, so that much is good. There is a bug I'm taking note of that I think was there prior, which is that the initial face does not show. It takes like an extra line before it shows. An extra line of dialogue. Okay, but I'm not going to get sidetracked by that right now. Let's just make a note of it. Under face, I'll record the two things I know about. Face not showing on M's initial speech for level controller. Maybe it's too early. It's called too early. Other one is traveling height of irises is not low enough. Traveling range, Y range. Okay. Okay, but let's get back to this thing. Okay. Let's say if now, let's keep it all in line. So we'll say next change time equals time plus random range come on. Let's see, Unity engine random. Yeah, okay. Min change time, max change time. Yeah. No, it's interesting how just little things cross that uncanny valley quickly. It's not a computer thing, but I remember once I had like this loft, and I was hanging stuff, and I had like that. I just went crazy hanging things from the ceiling, and I hung these styrofoam heads from the ceiling, and I remember like getting weirded out when I would just see like the head right in front of me, and it was like at different heights, and like if it was lower than you, you felt one way. If it was up a little bit higher than you, you felt a different way. I just realized like how sensitive our brains are to faces and the things they do, and yeah. Anyways, let's see, const float. Smallest amount of time for a change, we'll say 5F. Okay. Okay, so if, okay, then there's like the will it be default or not. Okay. Let's do 75. Oh, stop it. I think I can do also ints. Yes, I can. Let's say between 0 and 100. If it's greater than default attention probability. No, say if it's less than. Yeah. Okay. Say, okay, we want to set screen X, screen Y based on if attention target is null or not. If attention target is null, I can also do default. It won't do the lifetime check. Okay, if attention target is default, then we'll say screen X. If is looking at default. center screen point, out screen X, out screen Y. Okay, let me say otherwise. Actually, I can return here. Otherwise, we'll say get random screen point. Okay, so then down here, it might fall through if after the change attention target is set. Let's see, if attention target is deep, wait, is this right? Make sure I get this logic right. Alright, hold on. There's 4 combinations to look out for. They are target set, looking at default, and that should cause screen X, screen Y to come from the transform. Target set, not default. Random point. Okay, another 2. Target not set. Looking at default is center point. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is, if it's not default, then whatever the case, if not is looking at default, then we just set a random screen point and return. So that clears out 2 of them. And then there's one other one. If, and it's really unfortunate that this is named default. Let's just do Fine, fine. Okay. Stop it. If I do this, does that work? Yeah, okay. My eyes just keep on looking at the default here and getting mixed up underneath, so let's just... Come on! So irritating. Ahmed Tagarian. Ahmed Tagarian. Thank you. I need good luck. Actually, I have a lot of good luck already, but I'll take more. If I get all the good luck, I hope that means other people can also have good luck. Because if I have it all, I mean, that would suck for everybody else. But I think that's not what you mean. There we go. Look at that. Yep. Yeah, it's a puzzle-solving adventure game. And I'm working on some face animation code for it right now. Let's see. So all that just because I couldn't stand having this thing say default. That's a little bit silly, but oh well. Okay, so if that and that is true, then okay. So then the remaining case is that possibly down here we might have the previous okay. Let's see. Say if not is null transform attention target and is looking at default. Then we want to set the screen coordinates based on the position of the transform. Let's see what the code looks like for that. I think it's pretty simple. Yeah, it's real simple. Well, wait, maybe it's not. Okay, this is a good thing for me to refactor, I think. Okay. Do I already have a util class for this? Screen render util, that sounds better. It's called the Godkiller, because the main character in it is in conflict with God. Let's see, current camera, that would be the other thing. So gotta pass in the camera. Well, the guide in my game does kind of suck. I don't make any statements about the regular guide if there is one. I'm agnostic myself, but yeah. Huh. I said, I got this whole thing in here with the screen Y offset. That's not quite right. Face animation. So I've got some code that sets what faces look at automatically, and I'm trying to get it to be a little bit nicer. So let me see. What calls this? Look at, get screen chords, and get face screen chords. So I think I messed up a little bit here. The Y screen offset shouldn't be in this function. But it could be down here. Screen Y. Okay. Then, if I've got this here, then I can take this out. That's pretty well refactored. Go back to the face player. Use this new class. We'll say screen, render util, world to screen chords, current camera, transform position, plus all this stuff. Offset position, that's the one I want. Offset position. And then out screen X, out screen. There is code for an angry face. I've got 11 different emotions that each character can display. Anger is one of them. I'll show it to you in a little bit. I want to finish making this change here, but if you're around in maybe 5 minutes or so, I can give you a little bit of a demo. Are you a game developer too? So it's the way I do it is it's 2D overlaid on top of a 3D world, and the different parts are put together with I've got a texture that has all the parts that make up a face, and then I draw them on the screen in a certain order, and I control some of them more precisely. So the eyes, instead of just putting a simple frame down from my texture, I actually move them around so they look at things. Okay, let me see. I'll get rid of this function maybe. Okay, so one thing is still using it. Base player look at. Okay. I mean, it depends what you mean. Like, what is the thing that would be looping? Okay, then we say screen render util, and I also need a current camera to get set in here. That might work. Let me set the camera a little bit better though. So I guess it's a little bit expensive to check this param. So I've been a programmer for about 25 years, and I think I've on and off done game development throughout that time. I do not earn a living right now with writing games. I have in the past. My day job, I'm an engineering manager for a web team. And this is a moonlighting project. but I did a number of games in the past. When I was a teenager, I would just make them for fun. When I got into my 20s, I made a game called Drod, Deadly Rooms of Death, also known as that. And did some sequels, and I got one published. Then I did self-publishing. Then I worked on contracts for making games for other companies, and yeah, so I've had a mix of experience. Sure. The game that I made, if you're interested in it, it's over here. So, Drod, Journey to Rooted Hold, Drod, The City Beneath. Anyways, I'll drop a link. It might not be your thing. Maybe it is. If you like puzzle games, it's made for people that love them. Okay, this is no longer being used. I think I might be ready to test this out. Feels very likely it won't work the first time, but I can try it. Let's see, let's set some breakpoints. Okay, give it a shot, see how it does. Waiting for it. Okay. So now the first thing it does is let's get a new time to change. It says the next change will be in 1.5 seconds. Are we going to look at the default for now? We will. Okay. Well, you got to understand, I go back a ways. So you don't want to yourself learn the same programming language I learned when I started, because it's ancient. It's old stuff. But so there's a programming language called BASIC, and there are many different flavors of BASIC that I learned when I was starting out. Then later on I got into in school I did some Pascal. I never coded anything for myself in Pascal. But then I got into C and C++ back in the 90s. Then I did a bunch of like web and database and business apps. Yeah. And all that stuff is probably not interesting to you, but there are some other languages there, like, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, TypeScript more recently, React, all that kind of thing. And then Microsoft Office type stuff for like earlier days. And then I did a stint of Java in the 2000s. And then more recently, C# with Unity. And then as I'm still managing a web team, I dip into JavaScript and TypeScript quite a bit. But yeah, that's the short version of it. If I tell you all the languages, I did it once. Somebody else asked a question like that. I listed out about 15 different languages, but some of them are pretty obscure. Okay, so it's not looking, okay, it's looking at the default. Tension target is null, good. So we're going to look straight ahead. Cool. That one works. Okay, then it got to the next change. Are we still looking at default? No, this time we're not. You know what? Well, first off, what country? What country I'm interested. But I'll say one thing about Pascal. It's not a good language to write modern software in Tunisia. But it is a good language to teach you about data types, because Pascal forces you to think about different types of data structures and types. Very cool. And curious, are you a high school student? Well, I should probably update. Yeah. I mean, it's not bad for learning, but there isn't too many good reasons to pick that, though. So I'm glad they're moving away. That's probably better, to be honest, because a bunch of different languages are out there and they don't cost any money to use, most of them. Like, you can get a free version of Pascal, but you can get a free version of pretty much any programming language. So I imagine, they've got curriculum, courses and stuff, and people were used to teaching that language. So there's probably some cost to change to a different language, but it's a good thing that they're changing. Because Pascal is not really a language you use for a modern programming project. All right, so random screen point 5. That looks healthy. That looks healthy. Okay. So these things are getting called. Okay, there's the last one. You're saying, look at the player. And I think this will come out with something not too stupid. Or maybe kind of stupid. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I would not feel cheated if when you were starting out you got an old language given to you to learn, because as DZ points out, the fundamentals are there. But they might as well update their language choice. Okay, I'm not seeing what I want to see here yet. I think to troubleshoot this, I'm going to need to remove the randomness out of it and kind of force each mode. Yeah, this might be the end of the engine coding on the faces. In this session right here. Because I'm wrapping it up except for bugs and content in this session. Davey, good to see you. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is just force it to use a different mode. Let's just say that what's your new project? No, don't tell me actually. I know what it is. It's clown farmers who have like they maintain a graveyard where they dang it. I knew it was going to be something weird like that. I would have guessed it eventually. I just because you have a recurring theme with fish too, which I like. I gotta see the video right now. I'm gonna take a tiny break. If you've got a link, well, I can just go to your channel, I think. Let me see. Gate. Unless you changed. Oh, that's cool. Let me find you. Let's see. Synthwave Dave. This is you? Depths of Descent? Second video, this is the one to look at here. Alright, I'm going to take a look. Ahmed, I did almost nothing in college. Now, let me put that differently. So I didn't have money to go to like this one. No, you want day one? So I didn't really have money to go to like a nice 4-year college, so I went to, in the US they call it a community college, also a junior college. It means basically day three. Day three is the one to start with. It means basically a college that is cheap and not very good. But even I didn't have enough money to go to that college, and so I dropped out and I got a job on a fishing boat to save up a bunch of money to go back to school. And that didn't work out very well. I kept on getting these jobs to save up money to go back to school, but eventually I got a job where I was programming. And then I thought, like, why am I going back to school? I have a job programming. So I didn't go back to school. So I spent like maybe a year at a bad college and learned very little about programming there. All right, here we go. Turn up the volume. It's not that bad. It's just if you put on a resume in the United States, they're not impressed. This college I went to. All right, let's see. I'm trying to figure out if you used 3D models or if you made 3D looking models that are 2D. Well, okay, then you are... Wait, this is cool. Oh man, it's got... Hold on, I want to rewatch that. I'm gonna rewatch it. So you start at the bottom of this ocean. There's weird fish. They've got faces that look creepy, which I love. Especially that guy there. He's got like a human-like face with a human nose on it. I do not know what this is. Okay. Well, it was paused. You could draw. It had little tracers. Okay. And I love the gradient, too. It reminds me of kind of those old school 2D, like Atari 2600 style gradients. Very good look. All right. Wait, okay, and then you said you've got, you said you made like a intro animation. Well, okay. So if we go look, Atari 2600 screenshots. See if I can find some. It's like this kind of thing. Like you see the sky, it's got that chunky gradient. That's the kind of thing I mean. Oh, okay. I gotcha. So yeah, this kind of thing with banded gradients, because they don't have enough colors to show all the parts in between, but it's like a good look. Like even though it was based upon the limitations of the hardware, it's still endearing. It looks stylized, and some of the early marketing from Activision packaging would have that same sort of banded gradient type stuff. Say it like this. So it's a really cool retro look. Yeah, Pitfall. You've got that sort of wavy thing behind the guy going over the. Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you maybe an odd favor. So when I am listening to, when I'm on my stream here, sometimes I want to listen to music or something, but if I put anything in my stream that might get like a copyright claim on it, it's just such a pain in the ass. Do you have like some collection of songs that I could play on the stream every once in a while? Like a Bandcamp or something like that? If you don't want to, just say you don't want to. No big deal. You don't even have to give a reason. All right. So we say is looking at default. Oh, okay. Well, that's another option too. No, I was saying your stuff, Davey. I like your kind of spooky synthwave type stuff. I don't know if you had something you felt like, playing on my stream. I would gladly do it for a little bit, but if it's a pain in the ass or something, or causes you concern, I'd say don't worry about it. Um, there's a Twitch playlist. I might look into that too. Just there are times where I wouldn't mind having a little music going. Okay. I just thought I'd ask. No big deal. Humble Bundle. Let's check this out. Well, this is so I've got music for my game. I was only looking for music to play while I'm streaming. If I played the music from my game, it would drive me crazy because I would be hearing it again and again. And some of it I have to yeah. Okay. So let me check this other link that Ahmed sent me. So the question is, though, if I play this music and then I export, yeah, you can go nuts listening to your own music on repeat. Yeah. If I export a Twitch video to YouTube and it has this music, is YouTube gonna flag it though? Because those are the ones I'm worried about. Alright, let me get back to my business. Right. This stuff is not working as it should. So center screen point does take it to the center. If I say looking at default is false, it should just pick a random screen point every once in a while and look at it. Okay, let me try that. It might also be that there was something kind of like a bad assumption in my part of how the screen coordinate space is set. Like it might be 0, 0 in the middle or something like that. Okay, she did look off that way a little bit. Okay, she is moving her eyes around a little bit. Both of them are. This a little bit simpler. So let's see. Get random screen point. Let's start out with there. Actually, let's do screen X equals 0, screen Y equals 0, return. should probably set this up so it just comes in from an inspector property so I can troubleshoot a little faster, but I'll just try this one test before I do that. What is 00 doing? Yeah, if I put them on right on the model, you wouldn't be able to see them because the camera never zooms down there. All right. So that didn't do anything. That means I need to, what do I need to do? Put this back. Then let's go back to the face controller. Make this public. And then here, just leave it be. Just comment it out. I feel like before it's over, you'll become some expert of creepy fishes. Not just fishes in general, fish in general, but the creepy ones. You'll know all the creepy fishes. You go on talk shows and they'll say, what creepy fishes do you know about? And you'll know them all. At least one thing that's not right. At least one thing. There it is there. Let's start messing with that. Okay. It just feels like somewhere I took a big step backwards. Yeah, that level's so deleted. Yeah, it's doing something with the values I give it, but it doesn't make any sense to me. What? It should just be really pronounced. I got some very simple bonehead error in here. Let's see, because when I had it looking at transforms, it was doing great. That transform code. All right, DZ. Have a good night. Get some good sleep. Something's really off there. What could be that off? What could it be? Screen X, screen Y, getting past in here. Last attention. If these are both the same, exit out. Yeah. Okay, so is this actually passing in? Okay, it's 2 and 4,000. Okay, so that part is fine. I did do some things where I changed it here. What's the Y offset? 0. Okay. Current camera, that's the player camera. Okay, makes sense. This didn't change. Okay, offset position, that should be fine. That seems fine too. That's 0, so that won't do anything. Okay. So I wanted to be suspicious of that, but it doesn't seem like it's doing anything wrong. This will set. Yeah, that's old code that was working before, so there were no changes to that. I don't get it. Oh, well, her eyes are way off over there now. Also, do I have X and Y mixed around? Is that something? It kind of looks a little like that. That might be a thing. so tired of things that should be easy not being easy. And then it's like it's ignoring everything I put in. But the eyes did go over there. What the heck? Now they're not moving at all, no matter what I put in? You know when you have like a bunch of code that's working just fine and you make what should be a really small change to it and then suddenly nothing works, and you know there's just something that's just kind of real simple and stupid that's making it fucked up. But I don't want to go all the way back to where I was at the beginning. Let me see, what did I change? What did I change that would cause this to fuck up like this? It's really kind of irritating to me. Suddenly it's just not even. Alright, just do things very directly. I'll say that the irises go directly to the target with no movement. Turn true, I guess. What does true or false mean? Turn true if still moving towards destination, towards target. False if not. Is that how I'm using it? No, I think that's flipped around. Oh yeah. Surprised this even worked. Okay. But that's not the bug though. Wait. Maybe I've got the name of the variable wrong. Okay, it's the last movement. Now, man, I gotta get the game done. Yeah, if you start trying to get attention paid to something before it's kind of properly ready, I don't know. It seems like it's sort of a waste. But anyways, have a good rest of your evening. Oh, I gotta get my build out for the playtesters. Okay. Ahmed, if you're still on, I'm gonna say goodbye. I gotta stop the stream. Anybody else who's on, I'm gonna stop the stream here because I need to make a build of the game from the playtesters. So I'm gonna keep working, but just not on the stream. It was nice to meet you, Ahmed. And I'll catch you and anyone else who's on later. Stopping the stream, stopping the stream, stopping the stream now.